Welcome to Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go. This video uses AI narration to present our original book analysis. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. I know a lot of you are probably familiar with this classic, but we're going to be going kind of beyond the surface here, unearthing some of the real gems of insight that might surprise even seasoned readers.
That's right. You might think this is just another self-help book about making money, but Hill was really trying to dig into the core of human potential. He spent 25 years interviewing over 500 wildly successful people, and not just financially successful, but achievers in all walks of life. He wanted to, crack the code of what made them tick.
Okay, so it's less about a specific formula for riches and more about a blueprint for, achieving anything you set your mind to.
Exactly. And one of the most powerful ideas that Hill presents is this burning desire. And he doesn't just mean wanting something. It's like an all-consuming fire in your soul that pushes you forward. Think of Elon Musk, for example. His drive to colonize Mars isn't just a passing whim. It's that burning desire. That fuels his relentless pursuit of innovation.
So passion is key. But what happens when you hit those roadblocks? I mean, we all face setbacks and doubt.
Right. That's where Hill's principle of persistence comes in. He uses the story of R.U. Darby, who gave up on his gold mine just 3 feet from striking it rich. It's a cautionary tale about the importance of unwavering belief, even when the going gets tough.
Oh, man. That's heartbreaking. Makes you think about all the times we give up just before a breakthrough. So we need that burning desire and persistence. But what about actually turning those dreams into reality?
Well, Hill emphasizes the power of organized planning. It's about taking that burning desire and crafting a roadmap for success. Breaking down your goals into actionable steps. Think of Charles M. Schwab, who helped create U.S. Steel. He had this grand vision and convinced J.P. Morgan to back it because he presented a clear, detailed plan.
Right. So it's not enough to just dream big. You have to turn that dream into a tangible strategy. But what about the role of other people? Can we really achieve great things completely on our own?
Well, Hill actually dedicates an entire chapter to the power of the mastermind. He believed that surrounding yourself with a group of like-minded, supportive individuals can amplify your success. It's about leveraging the collective intelligence and experience of the group to overcome challenges and achieve greater results than you ever could alone.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like that old saying, 2 heads are better than 1. But what about when you need specific knowledge or expertise that you don't have?
Yeah, Hill recognized this. He stressed the importance of specialized knowledge. But he didn't mean you have to become an expert in everything yourself. Instead, he advocated for seeking out mentors and building that mastermind group so you can tap into the knowledge and skills of others. It's about recognizing your strengths and weaknesses and surrounding yourself with people who complement your skill set.
So it's like building a dream team. You find the people who excel in the areas where you might be lacking, and together you can achieve amazing things. But I'm curious about something. What about the mental game? How do we overcome those negative thoughts and self-doubt that can sabotage our efforts?
That's where Hill delves into some really fascinating psychological concepts. He talks about the power of autosuggestion, which is essentially using affirmations to reprogram our subconscious minds. You see, Hill believed that our subconscious doesn't distinguish between constructive and destructive thoughts. It works with whatever we feed it.
That's pretty powerful. So if we constantly feed our minds with fear and doubt, that's what will manifest in our lives.
Exactly. But the good news is we have the power to choose our thoughts. Hill suggests choosing affirmations that are specific, positive, and emotionally charged. Instead of saying, I don't want to be poor, you would say, I'm attracting wealth and abundance into my life. And you don't just say it, you visualize it. You feel the emotions associated with that achievement.
Wow. So it's like we're training our minds to believe in our own success before it even happens.
That's the idea. And Hill believed that this consistent, intentional practice of autosuggestion can actually rewire our neural pathways, leading to real changes in our beliefs and behaviors.
This is all incredibly insightful. I'm already starting to rethink my approach to achieving my goals.
And we've only just scratched the surface. Hill dives into so many more intriguing concepts, like harnessing the power of imagination, tapping into infinite intelligence, and overcoming those 6 basic fears that hold us back.
Wait, 6 basic fears. I have to hear more about that.
We'll definitely delve into those.
Yeah.
But first, I want to touch on one of Hill's most controversial concepts, the mystery of sex transmutation.
Ooh. Now that's a topic that always sparks debate. We definitely need to unpack that one.
Absolutely. But to really appreciate the nuances of this concept, We need to understand the societal norms of Hill's time and how his ideas might be interpreted today. It's a concept that often gets misinterpreted. Hill wasn't advocating for unrestrained indulgence. He was talking about channeling that powerful life force, that creative energy, and redirecting it towards your goals.
So it's more about harnessing that energy and
Yeah.
focusing it on something constructive rather than letting it control you.
Exactly. And, even though this concept might seem a bit out there to modern readers, there's an interesting parallel to some modern psychological practices. For example, in cognitive behavioral therapy, there's a technique called sublimation, which involves channeling negative emotions or impulses into positive, productive outlets. It's about transforming energy, just like Hill was suggesting.
Wow, that's a really interesting connection. It shows how Hill was really ahead of his time in exploring the power of the mind. But let's talk about those 6 basic fears you mentioned. What are they, and how can we overcome them?
Well, the fears Hill identifies are poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. Pretty universal, right? These are fears that can hold us back from taking risks, pursuing our dreams, and living fully.
Absolutely. I think everyone experiences these fears to some degree, so how do we combat them?
Hill's approach is all about replacing fear with faith. He believed that faith is the antidote to fear, and that by cultivating a strong belief in ourselves and our abilities, we can overcome even the most daunting challenges. It's not about denying our fears, but rather acknowledging them and choosing to focus on something more empowering.
That makes sense. It's about shifting our mindset from a place of fear to a place of belief and possibility. But how do we actually do that? Is there a specific technique or practice Hill recommends?
He suggests a few things. First, he encourages us to analyze our fears. Where do they come from? Are they based on real threats? Or are they simply products of our imagination? Often our fears are rooted in past experiences or negative beliefs we've internalized. Once we understand the source of our fears, we can start to challenge them and replace them with more positive thoughts.
So it's about becoming aware of our thought patterns and consciously choosing to focus on more empowering beliefs.
Exactly. Hill was a big believer in the power of autosuggestion, which we discussed earlier. By repeating positive affirmations related to the areas where we experience fear, we can gradually reprogram our subconscious minds to adopt more confident and courageous beliefs.
I love that idea. It's like we're retraining our brains to respond to fear with faith and determination. But what about the fear of criticism? That's one I struggle with personally. It can be so paralyzing to worry about what others think.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. Hill believed that the fear of criticism stems from a desire for approval and a fear of rejection. He argues that we often give too much power to the opinions of others, even if those opinions are based on negativity or ignorance. He encourages us to remember that not everyone will understand or support our dreams, and that's okay.
It's a good reminder that we can't please everyone, and we shouldn't let the fear of disapproval hold us back from pursuing our goals. But how do we actually overcome that fear? It can be so hard to ignore those negative voices, both internal and external.
Hill suggests developing a strong sense of self-belief and trusting our own intuition. He believed that we all have an inner voice, what he called the sixth sense, that guides us towards the right decisions.
The sixth sense. That sounds almost mystical.
It can feel that way, but think of it as that gut feeling or intuition. That sometimes guides us towards a particular path, even if we can't logically explain why. Hill believed that this sixth sense is developed through mastering the other principles he outlines, and that it provides a powerful source of guidance and inspiration.
So it's like tapping into a deeper wisdom that goes beyond our rational minds.
Exactly. And it's not about ignoring logic or reason altogether. Hill believed that we should use both our rational minds and our intuition to make decisions. It's about finding a balance between the two.
That's really fascinating. It's like integrating the best of both worlds, the analytical and the intuitive. But let's go back to the idea of faith for a moment. For some people, the word faith has religious connotations. How did Hill define faith in the context of achieving success?
Well, Hill saw faith as a belief in something beyond ourselves, a belief in our own potential, a belief in the power of our minds to achieve great things. He also believed in a universal intelligence, what he called infinite intelligence, that we could tap into through our thoughts and actions.
So it's not necessarily about a specific religious belief, but rather a belief in something greater than ourselves, a belief in the possibility of achieving what we set our minds to.
Exactly. And he believed that this belief, this faith, was essential for overcoming our fears and achieving success. He saw it as the fuel that propels us forward, even when we encounter obstacles or setbacks.
I love that. It's so empowering to think that we have this incredible power within us to achieve anything we desire. But it also raises an important question. If we have all this potential, why do so many people struggle to achieve their goals?
That's a great question, and I think Hill would say that it often comes down to a lack of self-belief and a fear of failure. He believed that many people sabotage their own success because they don't truly believe they are capable of achieving it. They let their fears dictate their actions, and they give up too easily when they encounter obstacles.
So it's not just about knowing the principles. It's about truly believing in ourselves and our ability to apply those principles effectively.
Absolutely. And that's where the power of autosuggestion comes in again. By repeatedly affirming our belief in ourselves and our ability to succeed, we can gradually overcome those negative self-talk patterns and develop a more confident and resilient mindset.
It's like we're rewiring our brains for success by consciously choosing to focus on empowering beliefs rather than limiting ones.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the most valuable takeaways from Think and Grow Rich. It's not just a book about getting rich. It's a book about mastering our minds and using them to create the lives we desire.
It's about tapping into our full potential and realizing that we are capable of far more than we often give ourselves credit for.
Absolutely. And that's a message that resonates with people from all walks of life, regardless of their goals or aspirations.
I couldn't agree more. It's a message of hope, empowerment, and possibility. But we haven't talked much about the actual steps involved in achieving success. Does Hill provide any practical guidance in that regard?
He absolutely does. In fact, he dedicates several chapters to outlining specific strategies for turning our desires into reality. He emphasizes the importance of setting clear goals, developing a detailed plan of action, taking decisive action, and persisting through challenges. He also stresses the importance of surrounding ourselves with a supportive network of people, building our knowledge and skills, and cultivating a positive mental attitude.
So it's not just about thinking positively. It's about taking concrete actions to make those positive thoughts a reality.
Precisely. Hill believed that success is not a matter of luck or chance. It's a result of applying specific principles and strategies consistently.
It's about becoming proactive creators of our own destinies, rather than passive recipients of circumstance.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the most empowering messages in the book. It's a reminder that we have the power to shape our own lives and achieve our dreams, no matter what obstacles we face.
That's truly inspiring. It makes you want to go out and conquer the world. But before we get too carried away, I'm curious about one more thing. Hill talks about the importance of contributing to the greater good. How does that fit into his overall philosophy of success?
That's a great question. Hill believed that true success involves not only achieving personal goals, but also contributing to the well-being of others. He saw it as a cyclical process. Personal growth fuels contributions to society, which in turn leads to greater personal fulfillment.
So it's not just about taking, it's about giving back.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that our lives are interconnected and that true success involves creating a positive ripple effect.
That's a beautiful way to think about it. It's about using our success to make a positive impact on the world around us.
Precisely. And Hill believed that this sense of purpose and contribution adds another layer of meaning and fulfillment to our lives. It's about aligning our desires with something greater than ourselves.
It's about making a difference, leaving a legacy that extends beyond our own personal achievements.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the most enduring legacies of Think and Grow Rich. It's a book that inspires us not only to achieve our own dreams, but also to use our success to make the world a better place.
It's a message that continues to resonate with readers nearly a century after it was first published. It's a timeless reminder of the power of the human spirit to achieve great things.
Absolutely. And I think it's a message that is more relevant than ever in today's world. We face so many challenges as a society, and we need people who are willing to step up, embrace their potential, and work together to create positive change.
Think and Grow Rich is a blueprint for doing just that. It's a guidebook for unlocking our potential and creating a better future for ourselves and for the world.
It's a reminder that we are all capable of achieving extraordinary things when we harness the power of our minds and work together towards a common goal.
It's about believing in ourselves, believing in each other, and believing in the power of possibility.
And it all starts with that burning desire, that spark of inspiration that ignites our passions and propels us forward on the path to greatness.
It's about having the courage to dream big, the discipline to plan effectively, and the persistence to overcome any obstacle that stands in our way.
And most importantly, it's about never giving up on ourselves or on the dreams that light our way.
Beautifully said. Think and Grow Rich is a powerful reminder That we all have the potential to create lives filled with purpose, meaning, and abundance. It's so inspiring to think about the power we hold within ourselves to shape our own reality.
It really is, and one of the most fascinating aspects of Hill's work is his emphasis on the subconscious mind. He believed that this hidden realm within us is incredibly powerful and that we can actually influence it through our thoughts and beliefs.
Yeah, we've touched on this a little bit throughout our deep dive, but can you elaborate on how Hill believed we could tap into this subconscious power?
Well, Hill was a strong advocate for the principle of autosuggestion, which we discussed earlier, and he believed that by repeatedly feeding our subconscious minds with these positive affirmations, we could gradually change our beliefs and behaviors. It's like planting seeds in fertile ground. Those seeds will eventually sprout and grow, shaping our thoughts, actions, and ultimately our reality.
So it's about consciously choosing the thoughts we want to cultivate and then using those affirmations to imprint those thoughts on our subconscious minds.
Precisely. It's about taking control of our mental landscape and weeding out the negative thoughts and beliefs that hold us back. You see, Hill believed that the subconscious mind doesn't discriminate between constructive and destructive thoughts. It simply accepts whatever we feed it. So if we constantly dwell on fear, doubt, and limitation, that's what will manifest in our lives.
That's a powerful reminder to be mindful of our thoughts and to make a conscious effort to cultivate positive beliefs. But how do we actually go about using autosuggestion effectively?
Well, Hill provides some very specific techniques. He recommends writing down your affirmations and repeating them aloud several times a day, both morning and night. And it's also important to engage our emotions in the process. By visualizing ourselves achieving those desires, the more vividly we can imagine and feel the desired outcome, the more powerful the affirmation becomes.
So it's not just about repeating words mindlessly. It's about creating a multi-sensory experience that truly imprints the affirmation on our subconscious minds.
Exactly. By combining repetition, visualization, and emotion, we amplify the power of autosuggestion. And the more consistently we apply this technique, the more profound the results will be.
It's fascinating to think that we have this ability to reprogram our minds for success.
It really is. Hill believed that the human mind is like a garden. We can choose to plant flowers or weeds. It's up to us to cultivate the thoughts and belief that will lead to a beautiful and abundant life.
That's a beautiful analogy. It reminds us that we are not victims of circumstance. We have the power to choose our thoughts, shape our beliefs, and ultimately create the reality we desire.
And Think and Grow Rich is a powerful guidebook for doing just that. It provides us with the tools and strategies we need to unlock our potential, overcome our limitations, and achieve our dreams.
It's a reminder that we are all capable of extraordinary things when we harness the power of our minds and embrace the principles outlined in this timeless classic.
Absolutely. And if you're ready to embark on your own journey of self-discovery and achievement, we highly encourage you to pick up a copy of Think and Grow Rich and dive deep into its wisdom.
It's a book that can change your perspective, ignite your passion, and provide a roadmap for creating a life filled with abundance and fulfillment.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the transformative wisdom of Napoleon Hill, don't forget to subscribe to Mindful Moments and buy the book using the link below to further nourish your mind on the go.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope this exploration has inspired you to tap into your own potential and create a life you truly love.
Until next time, keep nourishing your mind and striving for your dreams.